welcome to the CNBC TV 18 special Building Britannia. I'm in conversation with the Managing Director of Britannia, who's delivered 10 good quarters for the company. Industry-leading growth has been delivered by Britannia, and that's being reflected in the way the stock has been moving. Varun Berry, appreciate you joining us here in what I believe is your first full-length television interview. Thanks very much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Another good quarter for you.
My pleasure. Yeah, it's a good quarter. We feel good about the fact that we've been very consistent, not just on the top line, the bottom line, as well as market share. And we hope to keep it that way.
Okay, so let's talk about the road ahead, Varun. And one of the things that you have been attributed with is, of course, the cost management exercise that you've been able to pull off very ably at Britannia. And we're seeing that being reflected in your margin performance, which have expanded quarter on quarter. If you can take us through what more we can expect in terms of margins and whether the cost management exercise is now complete or whether we can see further reduction. Your margins have gone up significantly this quarter, but that's also on account of the benign low input costs that you're witnessing. What more can we expect in terms of cost management and hence margin expansion?
So let me just tell you two things. First of all, it's not been a dramatic increase. If you were to look at 11-12, our operating margins were at 4.6%. From there, they've steadily gone up from 4.6 to 5.5 to 8 to 9.3, and this quarter is a 13%, which is a fantastic number for operating margins. Obviously, I can't give you an outlook on how the year is going to go by, but certainly our endeavor is going to be to keep the momentum going. There's a lot of work that's gone into this. Obviously, there's a lot of work which has gone into building the top line, but there's a lot of work which has gone into controlling the waste that we have in our system. And it's not just us. Every company has waste. There was waste in terms of the trade loads that we used to do in the marketplace. To ease the trade, we've been able to reduce trade loads by almost 30%. The market returns that we were getting, have been reduced by almost 35%. The efficiencies that we've been able to bring about in the supply chain have been tremendous. It's been overall performance. The distance traveled by the biscuits, obviously every kilometer gives us saving because, it's all about fuel expenses, etc., etc. So we've been able to bring efficiency into every part of the business. And believe me, as far as these are concerned, sky's the limit. It's never going to be over. We have to treat every day as a new day and start to see and evaluate what are the opportunities ahead of us to reduce costs even further. Frankly, we are not reducing costs where it's going to hurt the business. We're only reducing costs where it's going to make the business better.
I get that. What I'm trying to understand is that can you do significantly better than 13%, which you yourself have articulated as a fantastic number? Do you believe that you'll be within this range over the next few quarters as far as margins are concerned? You talked about how you've been able to bring down trade spends by about 30%. I would imagine your logistic costs have also come down significantly on account of the efficiency measures that you've put in place. What will that translate into incremental growth as far as margins are concerned?
No, so as I was telling you, I'm not going to give you any forward outlook because we don't do that. But our journey continues. The journey is not over. Costs, there are opportunities. Top line, there are opportunities. We are hoping that the category which has been in low single digits is going to come back, which is also going to give us some tailwind as far as growths are concerned. Our endeavor to launch premium products with higher margins certainly continues. Our distribution endeavors continue. In fact, last quarter we've added 80,000 outlets to already pretty large distribution network. We're also looking at the rural distribution pretty seriously. Rural, if you look at what the press reports say, press reports are talking about slowdown in rural. We haven't seen any slowdown. In fact, our rural growths are very high double digits, and that's because we are expanding our rural footprint. We've almost got 7,500 rural distributors who cover villages and small towns for us. So we are firing in all directions. We are making sure that we look at every gap, whether it's in our geography, whether it's in our portfolio, whether it's in our endeavor to become more efficient, and make sure that we take this company to newer heights every day.
Okay, let me again ask you then, if you're saying that you actually haven't seen any consumption slowdown as far as rural India is concerned, and you're actually seeing strong double-digit numbers in rural consumption, then what is the overall consumption picture, and what would that then mean as far as volume growth is concerned? Are we to assume that volume growth will be in the 10 to 12 band or in the 8 to 9 band? What would be a fair assumption as far as volume growth is concerned?
So, again, you're coming back to outlook, and sorry, I can't give you
I'm trying to gauge, don't give me numbers, but I'm trying to gauge a sense of how strong consumption sentiment is.
No, so consumption sentiment is very weak. Frankly, category growths are very, very weak at this point in time. Revenue growths are in the 4 to 5%, and I think volumes would be about in the same, maybe 3 to 4% volume growth and a 4 to 5% revenue growth. As far as the industry is concerned, the sentiment certainly has to improve as we go forward. That's very, very critical, and I think for that, we are hoping that a lot of the measures that the new government has spoken about will start to get implemented, which will change the sentiment of the consumer. Because what we are seeing is that even in low involvement categories like FMCG, consumers have been either reducing their consumption or downtrading to cheaper products, right? Okay. So that has to change. That has to change. It's completely about sentiment. It's completely about how I feel about, money in my pocket, and hopefully that should change as we move forward.
Okay, let me ask you then in terms of the efforts as far as premiumization is concerned, and you're not the only company that's looking at moving up, so to speak. My conversation with the new managing director at Nestle also seems to reflect exactly the same sentiment, that the effort is really going to be in terms of premiumization. What more can we expect on that front? How do you intend to further the effort towards uptrading or premiumization, and how soon?
Well, we've been doing a lot of that. So if you've seen the last 5 or 6 products that we've launched, they've all been in the premium segment. Starting with NutriChoice Heavens, Chunkies, Chocolash, Nut and Raisin Cake, Muffles. All of these have been in the premium segment, either in biscuits or cakes. And you will see a lot more of this. What we are looking at are some technological breakthroughs in terms of getting some absolutely new to India products into the market, which will help us create excitement with the Indian consumer, and will also test our ability to give organoleptically superior products to our consumers.
When you say new to India products, both in terms of the categories that you're looking to enter as well as the timelines, if you could share more color. And I want to contextualize this in essence in terms of how wide you're likely to stretch yourself, because I remember a previous comment that you had made saying that you want to make sure that Britannia remains within the boundaries set by the consumers who might have set perceptions about the brand, and very few brands can actually do both sweet and salt. So how should we read the new product launches in that context?
No, so in this context, I'm talking about categories that we operate in. These are going to be products within the categories that we operate in. There is a lot of work happening on adjacent categories as well, which we are not completely ready with, but are in the process of doing the insights and research. I think that's going to take a little bit of time. As you will understand, getting to new categories requires a lot of due diligence. We are setting up a state-of-the-art R&D center in Bangalore, which is going to straddle, obviously all the categories that we operate in, but also some of the adjacent categories. That will give us an opportunity to test out new products, produce and test new products. So I think that's a longer-term plan that will probably take us about a year to get to fruition.
Okay, so you're saying new category launch is only likely FY17 onwards. And are we to assume then that salt is completely off the table, or savory could still be on the table?
Well, it's a long way to go, so would not like to comment on that at this stage. Because, unless we do our due diligence, unless we get to consumers, test these products out, and come back with the right inputs on, the direction to be taken by us, I don't think I'll be able to comment on that. But certainly, we'll talk to you when we are ready.
Okay, let me talk to you then about the plans that you have as far as the existing categories is concerned. And if you can share more color with us, in terms of your top performer, which of course is the biscuit category, what is the current market share? It was 35% if I remember correctly. Have you been able to eke out any more market share as far as the biscuit space is concerned? And what kind of growth do you envisage there? And what kind of incremental innovations can we expect on that front?
Yeah, so as I told you, we've been growing faster than the market. Faster than the category. So that implies that we've been gaining share. And obviously,
so what would the current market share be?
Because we don't talk about our share because, these are all proprietary numbers given by AC Nielsen. So we don't talk about the numbers. But yes, I can tell you that we are growing faster than the market.
Okay.
And, that we hope to continue to do. Remaining competitive, making sure that we fulfill all the geographic gaps, portfolio gaps, and we innovate with products which are better than competition, appeal to consumers a lot more than what other products in the market are, and are also technologically different from what's available. So there's a lot happening on that front. Again, I won't be able to tell you which direction we are headed in, but all I can say is just watch this space because you're going to see a lot of action in that area.
Okay, I also want to talk to you about what you intend doing to grow the dairy side of your business, because that accounts in FY14, I believe, 5% of your revenues. In fact, I think in the last quarter you did say that you were looking at boosting your presence within the dairy segment, but you were going to come back with a plan to the board. Has there been any further movement as far as growing the dairy business is concerned?
Yeah, so there are two parts to the dairy business. One is our current business, and we continue to do all that's required to build the current dairy business. The second part is about looking at what the go forward is. I've spoken about, the dairy business being a very small part of our portfolio, while the total dairy market is very, very large. And I would certainly like to see a much larger dairy business for Britannia. So that work, it's still in the works. We have had one round with the board. We are still working on it. I think we are still a little distance away because it requires a lot of investment. So again, a lot more work needs to be done before we are able to stand up and say that this is the path we are going to take. And I think it's good to be deliberate than to be, knee-jerk in these kind of areas where you require big investments. So I'm happy that we are slow and steady but deliberate about this. And I can assure you that, we will be back talking with you about this in the near future.
In the near future would mean this calendar year, or perhaps only FY17?
No, I would say probably this calendar year towards the end of it.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we continue our conversation with Varun Berry, the Managing Director of Britannia.